Hello my loving friends, welcome to today's video. Today I will be teaching you how to cut off shoulder v-neck crop. Very easy to cut. This is a pattern I've drafted down already, but I'm going to be explaining it step by step in a way that you understand. And look at the way I draft it. This is the back panel and this is the front panel. So I'll be showing you how I made this back and front. Now I'll be cutting it one by one. I will cut the front first before I will now cut the back. Now let's assume this is my fabric and your shoulder, whatever shoulder you have, divide the shoulder into two. Like at this, I'm using this pattern for this work. Now this person's shoulder is a 10, it's a little baby 10, and 10 divided by 2 is 5 inches. So this person's shoulder is 5 inches, is 5 inches, is 5 inches. Remember I said I divide my shoulder into 2, it gives me 5 inches. And I take my armhole, I take 7 inches for the armhole. Okay, I take 6 inches for the armhole, plus the seam allowance. 6 inches. I make straight line. And from this upside here, you take 2 inches. From this upside here, come down by 2 inches. 2 inches or 2 and a half. 2 inches or 2 and a half. And from this place again, I come down again by 2 and a half inches. 2 and a half inches. 2 and a half inches. Remember I said from this up here, you can take 2 and a half, you can take 2 inches. But for this work, I'm taking 2 inches. From this up here to here, 2 inches. And from this up again here to here, I say it's 2 and a half. But in this work, I'm taking 2 inches. When you're making yours, depends how wide you want it to be. But to be on the safer side, just take 2 and a half. Take my ruler and root line for my armhole first. My armhole cuff. Now, depends how you want the neck depth to be. I want the neck depth of this work to be 4 and a half. 4 and a half is okay. 4 and a half is okay. Now take your ruler. Remember I said from this upside here, I hope it's what I'm doing now. From the upside here, I come down by 2 and a half inches. From up here, come down by 2 and a half. And from this place again, I come down again by another 2 and a half. I take my ruler for this first, from here to here, 2 and a half. I place my ruler on this 2 and a half here, and I'm going to connect it from here to this 4 and a half. Remember I come down from this up here to this down here. For my neck depth, I come down here, make straight line. I hope it's what I did now. It's very, very easy to cut. This is how to do that. Remember I said again, from up to this side is 2 and a half, and from here to here is another 2 and a half. My neck depth is from here to here 4 and a half. So like I said, depends how you want the neck to come down. Now let's proceed. Now from this side here, I hope you understand what I'm doing now. Now from this side that I come down, remember I said I come from here down here 2 and a half. From this 2 and a half, this first mark, I'll measure 4 inches. I'll measure 4 inches now. 4 inches. From this place, from this 2 and a half to here, 4 inches. And from this place again, remember I come down again by another 2 and a half. And from here, I'll measure 5 inches. Please, it's 5 inches I'm measuring. I measure, you see. So I take my ruler. And make line now. Straight line to it. I connect all the dots together. I'm still going to explain it because when I'm teaching any work like this, I like to teach it step by step in a way that everyone will understand what I'm doing. So I said I measure my shoulder. My shoulder is 10 divided by 2 is 5 inches. I take my armhole. My armhole is 6 inches. And from this, my shoulder upside, I come down by 2.5. And you see, from there again, I come down again by another 2.5. And depending how you want the neck depth to be, I come down by 4.5. And from this, my cape, this is my off shoulder cape. This is how it be. And from here, I measure 4 inches for my cape, my off shoulder cape, and I measure that from here again. I measure 5 inches. I connect the lines together. I connect all the lines together. Now let's go. Remember, I'm making it princess that. I'm making princess that. So you measure your points, your nipple to nipple. Start from here. My nipple to nipple here is when I measure my nipple to nipple. This is my nipple to nipple here. My nipple to nipple here. This is my under bust here. So for the sake of this work, I'm going to be manage this my pattern very well. Okay, let me take my points here. But remember, this is my points. This is my under bust, and this is my waist. I make straight line for it. I make straight line for my points. I make straight line for my under bust, and this is my waistline. I hope you understand what I'm doing now. This is my breast point. This is my under bust. This is my waistline. Now I make straight line from there, from this my point to my waistline like this. See it here. So I'm going to be connecting this my point here to meet to this one here. I hope you understand what I'm doing. So from this line, I take my ruler. I connect from this my point. Meet to this see, I made straight line from this place to meet with my point. Now for my princess dart, this is where I want to take my curve from this armhole, exactly this armhole. From here, I use my French curve to curve it like this. So first of all, I will from this side, I measure 1 inches. Please don't measure anything from this middle part here. If you're making any pattern, don't measure anything from this middle part. Measure from this left to this armhole side. I take half inches here. Okay, this is my point. From under bust here, I measure 1 inches. Sorry for that mistake there. This is my point here. This is my under bust. I measure 1 inches from my under bust here. Like I said, don't take anything from the middle part. And from here, I'm going to be curving it to meet to this in my armhole here. I can use my hand to curve it. I can use my hand to curve it, and I can use my French curve to do that. Whichever one you know you can do. If you know you can use your hand to curve it well, you can do that. And let me say one thing here: to avoid points, to avoid points on this nipple part, I come down by 1 inches, and you go up by another 1 inches, so that the curve around the nipple side will curve. It will avoid the points there. So I take it like this. I make sure that I curve it very well. Look at what I'm doing here. From this my armhole, that is where I set this my curve. So that after making this pattern, if you are making this pattern, after making it, you see the difference. You see how it will bring the to curve your bust very well. It's going to curve it very well. This 1 inches I remove is okay. You can remove 1.5, but if it's a fatter person, you can remove 2 inches. But normal bust 1.5 is okay. Like this tutorial, I'm taking 1 inches. I'm okay with it. So from the armhole, I make sure I curve it well. Remember, I said I come down by 1 inches and I go by 1 inches. The reason because I want the bust area to curve round. I don't want that pointing of a thing there. I curve it very well. And the same this one I take here, I'll take it straight to my waistline. In case you're making a full blouse, you take the same this one straight down. Remember, I said don't remove anything on this middle part here. I hope you understand it. From this my cape, this is my off shoulder cape here. I made a straight line to meet with this my point, my breast point. So I'm going to be cutting it now. I hope you understand what I'm doing. Now before then, you now start taking your measurement, your normal measurement. That this is my bust. Before that, I will be curving the armhole cuff. Use your French cuff to curve it to where you want it to be. Now before that, start taking your measurements. This is the person's measurement here. You add the same allowance, and the same thing. Take your underbust and this, the underbust like this. Divide the underbust into 4 and add same allowance. The same thing, the waistline. Divide your waist into 4. Whatever it gives you, add same allowance. After that, use your ruler to connect every one of them together. I hope you understand what I'm doing. Please, if you have any message on this work, just drop your message on the comment box. I will reply you back immediately. So now I'm going to be cutting this work now. Now start cutting from this side. Start cutting from this side now. See it now. I cut from my armhole. See what I'm doing now. So please don't cut out this this cape. Don't cut it out. From there I come to this side to cut. See what I'm doing now. Please just give little allowance for your sewing allowance. You can just shift your hand little, like 1/4 inches for joining. No, I've cut this side now. See, this is my cape. Now I'm going to be cutting the neck of my work. This is it now. This is the V-neck here. See it, yeah? Very easy. See it now. Before cutting this my princess dart, let me open it for you to see it. So I cut it, open it like that. This is my so how is this? This is my cape. So when you finish it, you can use stone to design this front side, this cape side. You look as if you attach cape on it. So I will be cutting the princess dart now. I'll be cutting my princess dart out. Now I cut from here. I start covering this covering. If you follow this method to cut your princess, you will see how your blouse will come out. You love it. It's going to curve very well. See it now. I'll take it. Remember, I start covering it from the armhole length here. Now I will now cut this one that linked to my cape. Right, I think you see it. So I'm done with it. So when I finish now, remember to notch this point side, notch the point, not the underbust, notch your waist in case if you are making a full blouse. So after that, I will be joining it like this. This is how it's going to be. Please, if you want to join this, when you want to join it, you start joining it from this cape side. Join it, but make sure that these 2 points here join together. When you are covering it, when you are cutting it, join together. Look at how it's going to be. So I will cut it. I will join it together. Now after joining it together, I will now fold it together. Use it to cut my lining and use the lining to turn this particular front side. I hope you understand this particular one. Let me cut the back side. So the back, the difference for this back is that the back doesn't have a point there. It's the same thing, the same way I drag the front, but the difference is that of a thing here. just to place it there, but I'll go through it now. See the difference between the front and the back. Now I will driving the back. I said my shoulder is 10 inches. 10 inches. I measure my 5 here. Now I take my armhole length is 6 inches. Take my armhole length 6 inches. It's the same way. Why I'm going through it again is for you to understand it. But after, make sure you attach. You bring out the zip side where you put your zip. Now from this up here, I come down by 2.5 inches. From there again, I come down another 2.5 inches again, and I measure my cape. I measure my cape 4 inches. I come here again, my length cape again. I measure 5 inches. 4 here, 5 here, and my neck, my V-neck is 4.5. My V-neck is 4.5. So after that, and before that, after that, okay, I use my roller to connect it together. I connect from this 2 inches that I come down with to meet with my neck line. Now I come to this place. I make straight lines from this 2 to meet with my 4 inches, and I come here again. I draw from this 2 inches. I come down again to meet with my 5 that I draw here. I make straight line. Okay. Now, like I said, for my armhole, I'm gonna make curve there. I make curve on my armhole. Okay. Now, remember I said the difference there is that this is my breast point here now, and this is my underbust. So I'm going to be making straight line there. This is my point. This is my underbust, and this is my waist. So from this underbust now, make sure to place your data line. Make straight line for your dot line. I make straight line for my dot line. So remember, for this dot line here, come to this underbust here, remove half inches, and this side again half inches here, half inches here. Now I come to this side here, the same this waist side. I remove my half inches again here. I remove my half inches again here. So I'm going to be connecting from here to this side. So please, when you're connecting, you make sure that this half inches you sew it. That is what will bring the fitting of the dress. Follow it down. When you are sewing, you will curve your hand to meet with this particular one. But if you take your dart from here straight to meet with this waist side, it's not going to be okay. But make sure that when you are sewing it, just make sure that you have already removed your half inches from underbust, and when you're sewing it, curve your hand inside. Make sure that you follow that line from underbust, because it's underbust that will bring the fitting of your dress, not the waist, the underbust. So now I'm going to be connecting it like this. Like I said, you come down like this, because this underbust is the one that will bring fitting for your dress, not the waist. Waist doesn't bring any fitting at all. It's from the bust. From the bust, every fitting comes from. So when you are sewing it, you're going to, so you see it now. See how I curve it now. From my point now to meet with here, and from here to here, I take it down to take it down. And depends where you want the length of this back line to be. You can start it from this armhole here, but to make it understandable for you, follow this where you want the line to start, where you want to start holding it, as in to hold your dart like this, where you start to hold it like this to sew. Start from the bust line here, from this bust line here, just from this bust line here, from this bust line here. From there, in case you are making this dart, see it now. I've because this point here is the point that I'm supposed to be using in the front. But for back, start the line from the armhole side. So from there, make that line. From there, mix with the underbust. Please don't avoid this underbust. It's one that will bring the shape of your dress, not the waist. Waist doesn't bring fitting. It's the underbust. It's the one that will make it like this. So from there, take it down to that. So that is it. It's very, very simple to make. So I'm going to be cutting it now. I cut from my now stop from this side. I'll come to this side and cut again. Make sure you just add like 1/4 inches for what you use to turn the my cape. Right now, I start from here. I cut my V-neck to meet with my here. Hope you see what I'm doing here. Very, very easy to make. Like I say, connect this thing together. Correct. Remember, this line here is 4 here, 5 here. Connect it together. This is your cape, your off shoulder. This is the off shoulder cape. Cut it. I hope you saw that here now. So no, you don't need to cut this particular place. All you need to do just to notch this side, like this middle part. So when you're sewing it, you can even notch this place again so that you will not make mistake when you're sewing it. When you're sewing it, fold it like this. Fold it like this. You see, the line is there. Sew it to meet with this underbust. Like I said, it's very, very important. I meet with my where I want the straight line to end. So you don't need to cut anything there. It's okay like that. I hope you understand this simple tutorial. It's very, very easy to make. So I'm done with it. This is the back piece. My cape is ready. So this is the fabric I make. I made this fabric